What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video, and thank you for stopping by. It's that time of year again, and Steam Summer Sale is upon us. I love this time of year, honestly, and what individual wouldn't be? I mean, let's just be real. With this gigantic sale, we have a ton of JRPGs with massive discounts on Steam right now. So in this video, I'm going to go over my top 10 JRPGs that are in the Steam Summer Sale. I've dug in and looked carefully at what's on sale, and there's some truly amazing deals on JRPGs right now. So with all that said, let's get right into it. All right, first up on the list, I have Atelier Ryza at 60% off for $23.99. This is an amazing game, and it opens up a series of Ryza games that I absolutely adore. I never really got into the Atelier games. They always seem to fly under my radar for whatever reason, but I decided to jump into Ryza, and I'm really glad I did, because these games are a ton of fun. If you are looking for a more chill and relaxing JRPG to sink your teeth into, maybe one that doesn't have the end of the world or some incredibly devastating backdrop driving the story forward, then this is for you. It's truly incredible and features some super unique mechanics that I haven't seen anywhere else. Jump in and pick this up if you haven't yet. And the other games in the series are discounted as well, but I put the first one on here because it's the biggest discount, and it's the first entry into a great series of JRPGs. Next up, I have Ys 8. This game is discounted at 65% off for $13.99, is an absolute steal for one of my favorite action-based JRPGs. I can't tell you how surprised I was when playing this game. Another one I was super late to, but I jumped in based on some recommendations from some friends, and I was not disappointed. The combat in Ys 8 is fast-paced and fluid, allowing you to switch between characters on the fly to utilize different skills and strategies. Each character has a distinct playstyle, making combat dynamic and satisfying. The game also features a nice and robust crafting and upgrade system that adds nice depth to the progression. Overall, Ys 8 is a must-play for fans of action JRPGs. It has a compelling story, super engaging gameplay, an amazing presentation, the soundtrack, the art style, just everything about this game is incredible, and at $13.99, you really can't beat it. Moving on, I have Tales of Berseria at a whopping 90% off for $4.99. This is one of my favorite Tales games, and at $5, if there's ever even a remote possibility you would be interested in this game, you have to pick it up. The story of Tales of Berseria stands out. It's a much darker tone with some pretty complex characters. The protagonist is also particularly memorable for me, and the story is both really engaging and thought-provoking. The supporting cast is also really great, and in a lot of Tales games, it's the characters that hook me in, but Berseria has it all. The characters, the story, and the gameplay all come together to make one of the best JRPGs I've ever played. On top of all that, the presentation holds up incredibly well. Visually, the game looks incredible. Its anime-inspired art style that Tales is really known for, particularly very well done here. Berseria really checks all the boxes and a great JRPG, so don't miss out on this one. Dragon Quest XI is next up on the list at 40% off, down to $23.99. And this is an incredible deal. Dragon Quest XI will potentially give you well over 100 hours of fun in just one playthrough. This game encapsulates what makes a classic JRPG amazing, and puts it in a modern package with a larger-than-life story that kept me hooked from start to finish. The combat system is simple yet really satisfying, allowing for strategic planning and a variety of tactics. The game also features a wealth of side quests, mini games, and exploration opportunities, ensuring there's always something fun to do. The inclusion of a free roam camera and the ability to see enemies in the overworld are welcome modern touches to classic JRPG mechanics. I actually really like this game on PC because there are some mods that make the experience a bit better, in my opinion. For example, with Echoes of Elusive Age on Switch, the art style took a step down in my opinion, and when 11S was ported to PC and PlayStation, it kept that art style, but with mods on PC, you can get that original look and feel of the game, back with all the new bells and whistles of the new release. This is an incredible game at an incredible price, so definitely grab it if you haven't yet. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is next at 30% off, bringing it down to $48.99. This right here is one of the best games of the year. This is another game that you can get well over 100 hours in. I mean, you might get well over 100 hours in the mini games and side content alone, because while Infinite Wealth has an amazing story, the side content and mini games are just as good in my opinion. There is a ridiculous amount of fun to be had in this one. Gameplay in Like a Dragon shifts towards a turn-based combat system, a departure from the traditional beat-em-up style of other Yakuza games. This change is executed brilliantly and builds off of what was great about the previous Like a Dragon game. Overall, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth successfully revitalizes the Yakuza series with innovative gameplay and deeply engaging story. It's a must-play for both longtime fans of the series and anyone interested in jumping in, offering a unique blend of really heartfelt characters with a great, amazing narrative and dynamic combat that really sets a new standard for the franchise, in my opinion. When it comes to Yakuza games, it does not get better than Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Persona 3 Reload is another amazing game that was released this year, and it's discounted at 30% off for $48.99. If you've watched other videos on my channel, you know this right here is one of my all-time favorite games, and what is probably my favorite game series of all time. Reload does so many things to improve the Persona 3 experience, and this is easily one of the best JRPGs out there. Gameplay in Reload retains the turn-based combat system while introducing tons of quality of life improvements and enhancements to make battles smoother and more strategic, some of which will be familiar to fans of the Persona 5 game. The dungeon crawling experience in Tartarus is much more streamlined, and the social simulation elements where you'll build relationships and manage your daily life is richer and more integrated into the overall experience, in my opinion. Visually, the remake shines with incredibly updated graphics. The environments are more detailed, the character models are more expressive, and the overall aesthetic is just polished to meet more modern standards. Soundtrack features both modern, remastered tracks and new compositions, perfectly complements this game's tone. This is a great price for this game. Definitely go out and grab it. Octopath Traveler 2 is next up and discounted at 40% off for $35.99. First game in the series was great, but missed the mark in a couple of ways, but the sequel here takes everything up a notch and makes for one of the most incredible JRPGs ever. I love the stories and the different characters, all their playstyles are handled differently, and overall it keeps the game feeling fresh through the long playthrough. Gameplay maintains the turn-based combat system with the boost and break mechanic, which is one of my favorite modern innovations to turn-based combat. The sequel introduces new features such as latent powers, which provided unique abilities for each character, which I really liked. Exploration is incredibly rewarding with a variety of side quests, hidden treasures, and tons of dungeons to explore. This is a great game that will give you a ton of value at this price. Next up, I have Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne at 70% off for $14.99. This is an incredible remake. I know we are all probably playing SMT5 Vengeance right now. I have a review coming up soon for that, by the way, so stay tuned. But this right here is one of the best SMT games, in my opinion, and this remake was done really, really well. If you're itching for more Shin Megami Tensei, then this is your sign to pick up 3. Gameplay in Nocturne is notoriously challenging, with turn-based combat that requires careful strategy and planning. The press turn system rewards you for exploiting enemy weaknesses, but punishes mistakes harshly. This right here makes every encounter a real test of skill, which is something I've always enjoyed about games in the series. Recruiting and fusing demons to create a powerful team is a core mechanic and key to your success, especially in the more challenging boss fights. If you like harder, more challenging JRPGs, then definitely pick this one up. Star Ocean, the second story R, is such an incredible remake, and I have nothing but positive things to say. I mean, since its release, I've returned to it several times, and right now it is 30% off at $34.99. You honestly can't beat this price for this game. I haven't always been a Star Ocean fan, and in fact, many of the games in the series I haven't liked much, but this one is incredible. Gameplay and the second story R retains the series' signature real-time combat system with improvements that make battles more fluid and strategic. It has a nice expansive skill system, allowing for more customization and varied playstyles. There's a lot to love here in gameplay and presentation. Overall, Second Story R is a superb remake that honors the original while enhancing it for a new generation in a multitude of ways. It has a great story, dynamic combat, an amazing presentation with that HD 2D style. All of this make it a must play for fans of the series or fans of JRPGs in general. This remake offers a fresh experience and one that I think may be the best Star Ocean game out there. Finally, last up on the list is the entire Trail series. Throw a party here, because if you want to jump into the Trail series, which you absolutely should, this is as good a time as any, with the entire series ranging from 35 to 70% off. And each game is hovering around $20 or less. These are some of the best JRPGs hands down, and to be honest, this series is one you don't want to jump into midway through. I mean, you're welcome to. Many people have jumped in at like different arcs and then jumped back to play all the original games because they loved it so much, which is definitely something you can do. Whatever gets you into Trails is fine by my book. But with all that said, starting from the beginning can be pretty important, I think, and getting all these games at a deep discount like this makes that much easier. The Trails series is known for its meticulously crafted world. Each game is set in the same overarching universe, which allows for a richly detailed and interconnected experience. The consistency and depth in world building are unmatched, with a history, politics, and culture that just feel authentic and super immersive. If you haven't played the Trails games, then definitely pick these up. This is a great deal and one of the best things on the summer sale right now. All right, everyone, that's it for me on this one. The Steam summer sale is a great one this year, and particularly a great sale for JRPG fans. If there's any games that you find on the sale that weren't mentioned on this list, leave them in the comments below, and we can make this kind of a one-stop reference for fans of the genre to find some great deals on games they're looking to enjoy. So until next time, I'm out.